I'm a strong believer that there are undiscovered, powerful vintage decks out there, and one that always does well for me is Quantum Riddler Control. Okay, welcome back, vintage gamers, to a challenge. One of my prevailing theories right now in vintage is that over the top, excuse me, not big blue, but blue control that goes over the top of Lurrus is being underplayed. Every time we play a Beans deck or a Riddler deck or some kind of deck in this space, we find that it beats up on blue-black Lurrus pretty well. And I don't know, it's hard to push yourself into this space because the bar of entry of not playing Lurrus is, it's fairly high, right? But I do think the reward is there for that risk. It's going to polarize your matchup spread a little bit, but in certain metagames, it's going to make a lot of sense. And I believe these decks can battle in vintage, and we've shown that they can battle in vintage in the past. I have multiple other Riddler videos, including I think I won a challenge with the first. I think I went 5-0 and then won a challenge with the first Riddler deck we played. A couple 4-2s as well. So I just think that this should be experimented a little bit more. Notably, this card still has a fairly high price tag on Magic Online. It's like 36 tickets that I bought it today. It was over 100 at one point, which I think was keeping vintage players from experimenting with it. Blue-black Lurrus as in all Lurrus. Yeah, all Lurrus Frog decks. Blue-black and Esper. I hesitate to call it Lurrus Frog because, but as of right now, they're Lurrus Frog decks. I don't know that you go over the top of Lurrus PO, but I think with Stony Silences, maybe you can do that. Anyways, so I'm gonna do a little bit of a different take this time. The first couple times that we did Riddler decks, we did like very heavy Ephemerate deck was the first time. Obviously, we cut down on the Ephemerates, but we still played like Spellseeker stuff, and it worked okay. And then one time we played Beans, and I think Beans is like probably going too far into the clunky over the top control. And so this is not a copy paste, but a port in from a recent Legacy challenge where someone got second place with a very, very streamlined version of the Doggo plus Riddler. And so I'm going to try that today. I ported it into Vintage. I've cut the Stifles, obviously, because I don't think Stifle is a very playable card, but I am going to try to play the full 4 consigns. The metagame is the most Shops heavy it's been in years. Shops decks as a whole, 3 different Shops decks, Sphere, Raker, and Jewel, make up almost more than 20% of the metagame. So you actually get a lot of value from Consign, and it's pretty good in some other matchups as well. And then obviously it plays really well with your Warped Riddlers and your Faela Blinks and that kind of thing. So this is going to be the most fair blue control deck you possibly can play in Vintage. You're doing Wastelands, you've got tons of basics, you're playing a bunch of swords. I've chosen to cut like the Tamios from the Legacy version. I don't think Tamio is that good of a card, and then without 4 Brainstorm, it's really hard to flip Tamio. So I'm going to try to play this suite instead and bank on just Doggo plus Riddler and Teferi with, getting access to the major blue restricted cards. Ancestral, Brainstorm, Probe, Misstep, Time Walk, Dig, Cruise, and Gush. So we're going to try that. The place where I think this deck kind of shines is in the sideboard. We can have access to these 4 Stony Silences. Stony Silence is a lot better than Null Rod. One of the main reasons is because people play artifact removal sometimes for Null Rod. The main deck in PO has Flame of Anor, which destroys target artifact. Stony Silence doesn't get hit by that. So Stony Silence actually has a really strong matchup there. And then I think we should go over the top of Lurrus. I have packed a ton of removal in our deck, so we can sideboard out of our dead counter spells and bring in 1-for-1 removals. Lurrus PO, I'm hoping that the Stony Silences in combination with like good value cards is enough. Raker, Stony Silence, Jewel, Stony Silence. Mono white, we have 4 swords, 2 paths. I like that. Dredge, I think, will be hard. I would assume our Dredge matchup is bad. Normally, you play Leyline in the sideboard and you just try to multi it. But what I've done is instead, like Oath is a bit on the rise. And so I put 4 Containment Priests in our sideboard. Containment Priests can also come in against like mono white or creature heavy decks so that you can exile cards forever with exile creatures forever with the dog. So I decided to go with Containment Priest instead, and I packed a couple over encumbered to maybe help steal some dredge games. Yeah, trap for getting us to live into against our opponents we're bringing in Stony Silence against. Stony Silence is fantastic against Raker and Jewel, but you could have to make it to your turn 2 because we don't really have a lot of blocks in. So trap is going to be a way to help us make it to turn 2. And then you'll see a cheeky one of Exorcise here. Really versatile exile removal for artifacts and enchantments and sometimes creatures. This will help. You can actually target a 1-ring with this, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, I don't know if this will work, but my gut says it's fine. I do not like to play these decks in Vintage because I feel like you're not making the minimum bar for power. I think you should be doing something broken, and I don't think like Riddler Consign is a high enough bar. Doesn't hit that bar. But it is a very good deck at controlling what the opponent is going to do. And there are a lot of Vintage decks right now that are a little weak to a hard control. So we're going to give it a shot here in this Vintage challenge. See you in round 1. High stakes, proxy friendly paper Vintage returns to the US in 2026. The legendary NYSE will be back June 6th in New York, and the Oklahoma Land Run returns July 10th through 12th in Oklahoma City. More details still to come. I hope to see you there. All right, round 1. Like I said, I think that true control Riddler stuff is probably underexplored in the Vintage space, so we're going to do a little bit of that today. I'm pretty worried about how fair our deck is, but we'll see what we can do here. Going to have to play really tight, make the most out of our cards. Hopefully our opponent's not on dredge. Looks like they don't have any Vintage, recently played Vintage results. Our dredge matchup I don't think is going to be particularly good, no matter what we choose to do. I didn't include ley lines on the board either, so. If they're mono white, they're no Lurrus revealed, then consigning this is quite good. As is dazing this. I kind of like the idea of just consigning this, though. Yo, what up? Ancient Tomb Void Mirror. Ancient Tomb Soul Ring. All right, if they're not mono white, then consigning Pearl is pretty bad. Looks like they might be shops. Okay, so it's Raker stuff. Okay, so it was pretty bad to consign Pearl here. Oh, opponent got a little too greedy. I mean, they probably saw a Tezzeret in the kitchen, so probably doesn't matter much. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. I feel like, consigning Pearl is certainly a risk. But the reward is like so high if they're mono white that it makes a lot of sense. I don't know. Certainly bad bet because they're shops. So, and we have seen a little bit of a resurgence in shops, so maybe it was a misplay. We'll see. They just have another key. Okay. Where'd it? All right. So, got a lot of tools here. I have traps. I have an exercise. I have 4 Stony Silence. We have to just choose what we want to get rid of. I don't know. I have no idea. Again, the classic Raker problem of all of our cards are good. We just lost a Raker game 1 with 4 consigns in our deck, which is probably not a great sign, but don't really like Daze. I think Cruise and Gush can probably go. Okay, keep us low to the ground here. Yeah, I mean, that's like certainly a benefit of playing. Like that is like the kind of thing that, people sometimes bring up how lots of big Magic tournaments these days are open deck lists. And that's the kind of thing that I think would ruin Vintage. If you play a tournament open deck list, you just like can't play these non-blue decks that gain so much of their advantage by being requiring different sets of cards, right? It's tough. I don't know. I don't really feel bad about it. Like, obviously, it lost the game, right? I consigned the Pearl, and because I consigned the Pearl, my opponent had Vault Key and the ability to win. But, like, I think the reasoning behind my decision was sound, and, you know, maybe it didn't pay off, but I think it's okay. All right. The good news is we have 4 Stony Silence, so that'll help. Couple options here. Black Lotus. So I consign Black Lotus? No, not anymore. There's no reason to hit mana anymore. There's so many better targets. Rakers and Tezzerets and everything. And we have Trap coming down the line, so... Sure. I guess my opponent can technically be Jewel. Which I did not consider. Was it? We didn't... Okay, so then they're not Jewel. All right, I'm gonna trap this because my opponent has so many spells deep. I might as well use my trap now in case they don't play another spell. They're not gonna play another spell this turn. They just F6 checked me? That's crazy. All right. I can sign this because it's gonna really limit their mana. I'm just surprised I got F6 checked. I'm too good for that. All right, this is a pretty easy brainstorm. That's a really bad brainstorm. Holy shit. Okay. That doesn't get much worse. Probably looking for a counter off the... Okay, that works. Stony Silence, Fairy Riddler. Seems fine. I mean, I assume this Stony Silence is just going to kill them if they don't kill me on this turn, so... This is the kind of matchup that I think my deck can excel in. I have a really powerful sideboard card that flops the matchup and makes your fair plan really strong. I think they'll just concede to this. They have no mana. What's the plant? Ah, Saga Gaming, sure. Reasonable. Do I want to draw Riddler? I don't really need to draw Riddler here. Swords. Feels like a reasonable card to have. No. You'll usually play the top 8 with Decklists out because you'll usually play the top 8 because of streaming. But most vintage, I don't think I've ever seen a vintage tournament that's just open Decklist from the start. But almost all top 8s are because people do coverage a lot usually. So I don't even have the follow-up land here. So I could go get a consign if I want off of this Mysticulous Archive. Seems pretty reasonable. All right, I will draw a consign. I'll plus my Teferi. I'll pass the turn. The game is locked. Opponent has to search with Saga. I mean, they can like needle my Teferi, but who cares? I'm surprised they're still playing. Maybe they just want to see more of my deck, which is fair because this is not a real deck. Sure. Not particularly worried about losing my Teferi bounce here when they have no mana and no cards. We get a nice end of turn dig through time here, and then we'll be probably casting a dragon or something. I'm gonna just respond to... Yeah. We'll respond to the exile here. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I'll dig. I'll take Ancestral Recall and Snapcaster Mage. Sure, why not? I'll cast Ancestral, target myself. All right, this game is very over. I think it was over when the Stony Silence resolved, but that's okay. Yeah. I mean, I think if we can live through the initial onslaught using negate traps and get to a Stony Silence, that's kind of what we're trying to do here. I don't really like negation. It only is good against ring, basically. But it might just be better than playing some dogs. Just because if we can get to Stony Silence with removal, I feel like that's just winning, so... Actually, I don't even know if dogs are good at all, really, here. It's going to be hard for them to attack through. So maybe I'll just put in more removal spells as well. My blue count is super high, right? 12, 13, 15, 25, yeah. I mean, the burning removal spells can leave me pretty weak to, like, the Tezzeret Volkey stuff, but... Wow. I might keep this hand on the draw. 2 forces and a trap versus Raker with a Stony and a Stony. A Ponder. It's a very reasonable argument to keep in this hand. It does everything our game plan wants besides cast the spells, besides cast the 2 spells. And our deck is 22 mana sources. If we even hit 1 fetch land, it's like extremely good. Wow. I think I'm gonna mulligan, but I'm very tempted. The problem is if opponent keeps like a workshop. I mean, even if they keep a workshop crawler draw, like it's not even bad for us. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. This seems very reasonable though. I'm gonna mulligan. This hand's like far worse. This hand is so much worse. Like I have to keep this hand, but it's so much worse. God. Like I think my first hand's better than this hand. That'd be a pretty good one against my first hand, to be fair. That's not the exact sequence you were looking for there. I'm pretty worried. Defense grid. All right, well, sure. I need to find a null rod as soon as possible. A Stony Silence. So now I can no longer consign. Oh, wow. Consign would have been a good draw if they didn't have a defense grid. So I guess I'm just casting. I'm playing Tundra and casting Brainstorm. Exercise Wasteland. Swords. Okay. I will be able to fetch away 1 card. What is my worst card? Consign. So consign below fetch land, then we'll go fetch land time walk, and then we can go... I mean, this is actually really great because this covers ring. I actually don't think I'm in a bad spot now. Crawler's fine. Top is fine. 1 card left for my opponent. Can't spin top. Can't activate bobble. Can't spin top. You have workshops. Okay. That's fine. Just gonna play this. Fetch away my consign. And time walk. Up our mana count here. Force. I'm thinking I might Swords and Wasteland. I might just build out my mana. I could force if I just hold open 3, which is pretty interesting. Because I will be paying mana because of Defense Grid. I don't want to give my opponent cards here, though. But I also don't think... I'm just like not sure this Wasteland is that good. But now I have Snap Swords, so... A Monolith. That lets them play anything here, really. So we'll see if they have like a Ring or a Tezzeret. Nothing. Quantum Riddler. So do I want to hold open Force? Do I want to hold open Force? Because I can. I can pay 3 and Force on their turn. It won't get countered by Bauble. Is that a good enough reason? It's not advancing my game plan. Riddler slightly advances my game plan. Can I die? I can theoretically die. I guess I have Snap Swords I'm holding up. Yeah, I guess we can do that. I can theoretically die to, like, Raker off the top into second top. They're going to crack Bauble now. They're going to play Tezzeret. So this Tezzeret means it's basically no mana because of Grim Monolith. Could tutor another top or a key. I'm really not interested in... Oh, I guess I can't Snap Swords because of Defense Grid. I'm an idiot. Okay. So it's just, do I want to force this? I think so. It'll take him off Monolith. Sorry, I definitely fucked that up. I don't think I was supposed to do this here, but that's okay. We'll definitely get an island. And so the question becomes, is it better for me to force pitching Snap, who has Swords, Time Walk, Brainstorm, or just keep Riddler? Riddler can draw 2 if I hit a land. I think it's just keep Riddler. All right, force your Tezzeret. That means they don't have the Monolith mana anymore, which lessens the chance I get Raker killed. My opponent is sad about their Defense Grid. Oh, they had a freaking Time Vault. They're sad about their Defense Grid Bauble anti-synergy here. Negation. I think I'm just going to exercise the Time Vault so I don't randomly lose. And then I'm kind of hoping to draw like a land so I can just draw 2 off of Riddler. Or just like a freaking Stony Silence will win the game for sure. They draw blind with top. Kind of a bold play. Don't really know what that accomplishes here. Maybe they felt like that was their window. Do I want to play? Yeah, I mean, I guess I probably want to play a Teferi. I don't think I want to bounce anything, though. Replay top. Just need a Sunset. Just need a Stony Silence here. I guess they're trying to just draw to like a land or something. Land lets me get extra. Okay, there's my Stony Silence. That should just do it. So now they're dead on this top draw because I can't activate it. Yeah, I think Raker is like the exact kind of matchup my deck really wants to see here. Let's cast Ponder, looking for a land. Like a Wasteland's insane, right? Island, Swords, Misstep. So I can play Island, draw 2 off of Riddler, drawing Swords Misstep. I can't really like bounce one of their things and then counter it on the way down. I'm probably supposed to... I love a Wasteland. Is it like crazy greedy for me to to shuffle these cards? Probably. I could bounce back my Riddler to my hand so I can warp it again. It's probably not very good. Just play it for 5 once I hit another mana source. Alright, they found are they probably just playing the top out? Oh, they're playing another defense grid. Okay. I'm not allowed to play spells on your turn. I understand that. Acknowledged. So is it I think I just wasteland them. They have 6 through their turn. I think I'm gonna bounce one of these defense grids so I can technically play a spell through their stuff. And I can't replay it at the moment. This could technically get us a Time Walk, a Swords, or an Exercise back, which is pretty interesting. So I think I'm gonna keep that on top. Yeah. I don't have to do that right now, though. Let's get our 4/6 flyer in play. Another Stony. I don't think they can get rid of the first Stony, but... Now I actually can get rid of all of their things. Because I can do is I can Mystic Sanctuary back, Exorcise, and then I can exercise the Bauble and bounce the defense grid, and then I can hold everything up. Play another Stony Silence. All right. Opponent has officially been controlled. They might also have to pitch to hand size. Ooh, phase out my Quantum Riddler. You got it. I've got 2 consigns, a negation, a misstep, and a swords. Soul Guide Lantern. That's a resolver. Also a resolver. All right. Passing with triple consign for swords misstep negation. I can consign this Saga trigger so they can't play a spell off of it. I can assign a Saga trigger here so they can't make mana to play a spell this turn. Oh, they found it. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, like I would have to consign the defense grid anyways, right? So isn't it better if I just like make it so they possibly can't do anything with it? I can always bounce it anyways, but I think I will just play another flyer. Cool. This one I think I'll let go. Like, doesn't really matter. Yeah, I mean, I do think that beating Raker is as simple as playing a Stony Silence. The problem is getting to a Stony Silence, right? So, as long as you can get there, you'll be fine. And this game, we got there with a very sus hand, to be fair. I really think that our first hand with no mana was actually better, but like it's hard to. I don't think it's worth it to keep that. But our second hand was super sus. It didn't really play well against Defense Grid either, but opponent had some missequencing, some weak draws, and we were able to force at the right time through their cards to get us to Stony Silence. So pretty strong game. It's nice to get the second and third games, especially after I think the first game we basically threw it on a bit of a guess. But like I said, I still don't think that guess is ridiculous. Like opponent very clearly, we don't see a lot of vintage results from them. They made a couple sequencing mistakes that I think are maybe indicative of trying out a format. So putting them on mono white, leading on a pearl, I think is reasonable. But yeah, I do think that like straight up cost the first game. So interesting thought experiment there. All right, here we go. Round 2. Up against possible dual opponent. We do have a negation in our hand, which makes our hand a lot more palatable, even if this hand is really, really poor. Unfortunately, we have a tap mono-colored land, and the same color is our Mox. But if my opponent is on Jewel, man, it's already a mulligan, but like this is a mulligan we would keep because it has a negation. Probably just keeping this hand. It's not a good hand. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think this hand's good, but I'm also like I just do not know which of these blue cards I'm gonna pitch here. I probably have to pitch Time Walk, I guess. Like this is a turn 1 ring. Like I have to have negation, so I kept my this is why this is exactly why I kept my hand. I have to have a negation or I lose on the spot, so I would love like just a fetch land here where I can like maybe play an end step this dog to steal a jewel or something. Yeah. Okay. All right, tap land, go. Can't imagine we win this game, but I feel like there were good draws there, so. Oh, they have no follow-up, just they only had a ring. Classic jewel player. Okay, so where does that leave us? I think that leaves us on trying to fade one more turn, playing an end-step dog, and then warping a Riddler. God, this would have been really good if I had drawn a fetch land the first turn of this game. Wow, they hit a blue source and they still have no more spells? It's quite surprising. These jewel decks are wild to me. I got a doggo. I will warp a Quantum Riddler. I will attack with my dog, exiling my Quantum Riddler. So I still kind of need another force in this game, though. I will return my Quantum Riddler with my dog. I still don't have another force. Really was hoping to draw a force off of that divination there. I have 7 power, but it's 3 turns. I guess it's more like 7 power than 8 power. Which is still 3 turns. So if my opponent draws like a ring or a jewel. Wow, they played us Springs to put themselves to 15. To what? Hold up. What does this hold up? What does 2 blue hold up, chat? It doesn't hold up Hardcast Force. What does 2 blue hold up? Another sync, maybe? Just like 2 syncs. Yeah, second sync. Oh, wait. 4 mana PO. Ah, 4 mana PO. I mean, like I said, I have no counter magic, so can't do anything about that. An archive. Second bounce. Oh, I need a force. I need a force. So if I fetch, I have 2 cards in my yard, and I'm still super far away. So maybe the best play is Meticulous Archive, looking to see if I have a force on top. And then I could always bounce my Riddler to draw it into the force. Swords Misstep is +1. So do I have enough then? So if I go Swords Misstep, fetches 4 cards in the yard, and then I have 3 mana left over, which is 1 short, right? Even if I were to like blink my Sapphire, it doesn't help me. Okay, I think I'm just going to use my Meticulous Archive. If I have a force on the top of my library, I'll blink my Riddler. And if I don't, then I probably just put my opponent on lethal. That's terrible. Can I blink a land? No. Well, I think I should just put my opponent on dead on board and hope that that's good enough. No point in floating. All right, so I deal 7 to my opponent, and I get 8 power total, and I just have to hope I don't die. I don't know, like I just don't. I have 6 forces in my deck, and we've already used 1. I had 4 consigns to draw to. Consign is insane here. Oh man, like if this found a consign, I don't know. I feel like we just like really whiffed on cards here in a spot where we had lots of good hits, but also opponent didn't really have any good cards either, so. I assume they're just going to go for a jewel. Then maybe they go for a ring. Yeah. All right. Ring resolves. No, I think we were 1 short was my calculation on that one. I had us on 1 short on swords. Mental misstep. That's +1. This is... Oh, they have Lotus and Jewel. And Sapphire. They just had all mana hand. And their 1 ring activation found them a Jewel. I don't know. Maybe they'll brick here. Like, that's all we can hope for, right? Like, what does Flicker Mox do? How does Flicker Mox help in casting Dig? If my opponent passes the turn, we steal 2 jewels and we probably win. But I don't think we're gonna get a turn here unless something crazy happens. This is a PO. Probably just have to concede to a PO. I don't know. Like I said, we just really needed a consign, right? Like we just needed a consign or a force, and we didn't find one. Could have gone for the blind draw. I think putting my opponent on lethal and making them top deck something is better than blind drawing there. I think I would rather just put the 8 power attacking. I think going for the blind draw is not great. Yeah, this seems like a reasonable place to mental misstep. Don't think that's good enough. Do I have any plays here? Not really, right? I mean, I don't think that I'm getting a turn. I don't think that the dig would resolve even if I got a turn, but... I mean, at this point, I have to let my opponent play it out, though, so... It's Jewel. So we're chilling, chat. I don't know. I don't really feel like I knew my hand wasn't good, and we didn't draw the fetch land right away, or we would have had a lot better start. But we drew our fetch land pretty fast, and we put together a decent board. We just found both of our Del spells instead of a counterspell. The Del spells are not very good without the Ponders. Yep, just Volt Key plus whatever. Karn, Tezzeret. There's a chance that the Time Vault is at the bottom of their deck and they don't win. And also, like, it just takes time to win with Jewel, so there's the Time Vault. I think you just play to clock a decent amount of time here. Though my opponent's playing pretty quickly, so good on them. I'm not even sure Delve spells are broken when unrestricted right now in Vintage. So I think there was a point in time where that was unarguably true. I don't know if that is still true, honestly. The cards that you have to play to make Delve good are not great. I think Stock Up is better than Dig Through Time. I don't think that's a controversial statement. The games don't really in Vintage don't really play to the classic times where Dig Through Time was broken. And maybe that's because Dig Through Time is restricted, so it's not worth playing to those times. And that's possible. Like that's absolutely possible. But oh, I don't think that's first on my list. And again, okay, no, and I haven't added the rule, but no talking about unrestrictions or restrictions. Adcom, no BNR. No talking about BNR in this channel. One warning, then timeout, then ban. That's the new rule. I've added this rule because I want to play Magic that is happening. I don't like talking about theoretical Magic that doesn't actually happen. Magic Vintage is like at its all-time best maybe right now. Vintage, you know, like at least in the time period that I've played Vintage the last 7 years, 7, 8 years. I think right now might be the best time period to be playing Vintage. I don't really know how that works. How does that work? You can make it pop up. It's a cool idea. I am not personally interested in the contraption formats. I don't know. If it doesn't have like any real impact on tournaments that I play, then why do I just don't really care for the most part. I think like the pre-modern was awesome. And I'm happy people can play their pre-modern format. Not that I want to play pre-modern either, but you should build a deck that you want to play. Like, what kind of Magic do you like to play? It's kind of the thing. I don't think vintage decks don't really go anywhere. So for the most part, any deck you build that's good right now is still going to be good. Oh, I don't think Swordsing like is a good use of my. I don't think Swordsing gives me a time differential that is helpful. All right, so I'm gonna bring in 4 Stony Silence and 2 Mindbreak Trap and an Exorcise. Dreadhorde. You should probably just build Blue Black Lurrus then. Blue Black Frog deck. Good blue cards. I'm going to take out these Swords to Plowshares and rely on Teferi and Exercise if they do a pivot on me. And then I will take out... I have 4 Consigns in my main, man. I keep losing game 1s to Artifact combo with my deck that has 4 Consigns in the main. That's crazy work. That is absolute crazy work that I've now lost back-to-back game 1s to Shops combo with 4 Consigns in my deck. Krang? I don't think blue is an acceptable casting cost in Vintage for the most part. Like, especially in your affinity deck. I don't think the card is bad, by the way. Like, it's a blue card, it's an affinity card, it draws cards. Like, it's a good card. I just don't think it will, like, make an impact or anything. Like, I'll probably make a video with it because it's a very playable card. But, blue is really tough, actually. I mean, there isn't even a working affinity deck in Vintage right now. Like, that's not true. Like, you can make an affinity deck and it works. It's just, remember how I was talking about Stony Silence? Yeah, I keep. It's time to force check my opponent. I've even got Masticore covered, which is pretty sick. We're pretty weak here to force plus turn 1 play, but what's a guy gonna do? All right, got to resolve Stony Silence on turn 1 versus Jewel. It's usually a pretty good sign. We also have a follow-up threat that grows every turn and an answer to their answer. So I love it. They could always have Academy bounce, though, so the game is not over by any means. I will start by Wastelanding, though. Black Lotus. You have a land? I mean, Academy, like, just screws us, as always. They have Academy! No! Oh, wait. They're not bouncing this turn. Okay, we have another Wasteland. We're fine. Oh, wow. I think if you're the opponent, you can never play this Academy without winning the game on the spot. I think that's like a really big mistake. Because now they're so far away from any of their outs. I would not have Wastelanded Ancient Tomb if I did not have a second Wasteland, by the way. Okay, now they're dead. Yeah, I don't think you play this Academy. I think you just hold it and you wait till a spot where you can uncountably bounce the Stony Silence and win the game. I actually think we're probably in a losing position in this game if my opponent just holds the Academy in their hand. I think it's more tilting that I cast Ancestral Recall and then Wasteland, but whatever makes you happy. All right. So now I have to make a question. I have a question of like, do I bring in additional swords if my opponent pivots to Masticore, but they're on the play, so they're less likely to pivot to Masticore. We have Consigns. We have Vayela plus Consign. We have Exercise. We don't have Teferi bounce Masticore because it's pro multicolor. So it's like the question is like, do we dilute our deck with some Swords to Plowshares so that we have additional Masticore answers? I think no. They run an island usually. We've seen islands. Our opponent has played islands against us. This is a fantastic hand. I will keep this hand every time. Also, Quantum Riddler pairs pretty well with Double Force. Ancient Tomb, Mana Vault, turn 1 Ring, Negation, Pitching, Ponder. Force back. Because Masticore is a hard to answer card that answers all the hate pieces. So I think I want to pitch Consign. So I want to I think I might just pitch Riddler. So I can just pass with, or I can either pass with a Consign up or strip mine. Like I'm still a turn away from casting Riddler with Warp. And by the time I do get to Riddler with Warp, I might not have the ability to draw 2 off of it. I actually think it's better for me to force this ring than to negate the ring because of Karn. I'm gonna keep the Riddler. They have double force backup? All right, whatever, man. Sometimes you lose, I guess. That's crazy work. That is crazy work. My Jewel opponent had turn 1 ring with double force backup. They have like 2 blue cards in their deck. That's what happens when they board in the Hole Breacher. All right, well, I think that means we lose unless we immediately draw Stony Silence off the top. I definitely wish I had a Consign still here, but not much I can do about this. They drew Workshop off the top with their draw 3. Yeah, I guess we're just dead. All right, well. They can actually play a Jewel now. Yeah, I was not playing around second force, and I don't think I was supposed to. Tezzeret, sure. All right, the good news is we have a Meticulous Archive. Wow, they chose not to draw 3? What are you getting? Oh, I guess they can get a oh, that's a bad sign. I think that means they have a Tinker. No, they can't cast Tinker. What does this do? Time Walk? There's no way. Wait, what are they getting a Sapphire for? PO on the next turn? Why don't we just draw 3? All right, well, we have a Meticulous Archive here. Oh, end of turn Ancestral. Sure, I guess that is draw 3. I don't like that though. Like just draw 3 off the ring and then you can maybe draw a blue source anyways. And okay. Anyways, I am meticulous archiving here with the hopes of finding one of my 4 stony silences to save the game. That's a dog. Sapphire. Sapphire is kind of a cool one because it does let us draw 2. I just don't know that there's a draw. I guess I could draw a Lotus. I could draw a Lotus Stony Silence. I could draw Consign, which might... I don't think Consign buys me a turn when my opponent is drawing 7. 4 Consign, 4 Stony, lose to Jewel. Yep. Yep. Classic Jewel. I think I can leave the strip mine up unless I draw an ancestral. I don't think strip mining my opponent changes anything. Nothing. All right, we lost, but I kept a great hand. It just wasn't good enough. Sometimes your opponent 1% you. The real problem is... I don't know. There's no real problem. This just happens sometimes. Vintage things. Yeah, it was a 7 card, turn 1 ring with 2 force backup. It's, you know, the only way that I beat that is having a trap over the top, which I have traps in my deck. My hand just didn't contain a trap. And their follow-up draws were quite good as well. All right. Vault key already established. And they have an active 1 ring, so they could theoretically miss, but not really. Okay, now they can't lose. All right, I don't know. No, I think that's just, you have to chalk that up to sometimes you get vintaged. If we were on the play this game, we would very easily win, right? Because we had Consign, but we were not on the play. So it kind of comes down to game 1 loss. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. But that's the power of playing an all-in combo deck. Sometimes you just do the thing. All right, here we go on the play against another Raker opponent, it looks like. Hopefully our 4 Consigns can come in handy here. Hey, keep. Keep. This might actually be a good Delve Consign hand. So far, I'm not going to lie to you, our metagame call has been absurd. Our deck has played, we played against Raker, and Jewel in with our Consign all counterspells deck. Not bad. If my opponent is somehow on Sphere Shops, I'll wish I'll had a basic, so I'm gonna fetch a basic. Top. Okay, so definitely Raker. We can fetch Tundra now. Let's ponder another Consign and another fetch and a ponder. I mean, I'm probably not going to be able to get to the other cards, but another Consign sounds good. All right, this is exactly what I was talking about the games we've lost so far to, like, Raker and Jewel. Like, our deck plays 4 Consigns. Like, it's pretty good when you draw the consigns against the artifact deck. Time Vault. I'm just gonna counter this because it represents. I guess I don't have to just. Oh, I should have. I could just daze this. We should just daze this. I shouldn't have fetched. I'm sorry, chat. I fucked up. Yeah, that was a mistake for sure. I think I'm gonna consign this though. How close am I to treasure cruising? I'm 1 away. It's kind of unfortunate. Was not able to get to the treasure cruise for 1 mana on turn 3. I got a good coverage here though with swords and consign. And then we'll refill. Talon Gates. Hopefully my opponent plays a spell this turn, so I can play Cruise next turn. Forge. Consign number 3. It's pretty funny. Wasteland. All right, let's start by cruising. I guess we lose all of our consigns. A little unfortunate for our Snapcaster. What am I wastelanding here? Just the workshop? Or the Inventor's Fair? The workshop represents a problem with the One Ring. One Ring is the thing I'm the most concerned about from this spot, so. And then I think I'm just supposed to cast this Riddler, because I have getting killed by Raker covered by Mental Misstep here, so. I think like taking them off of the ability to play a ring here and forcing them onto a creature is what we want to do. Draw with top. Emerald, they hit a ring anyways. No, Raker. Okay, cool. So now we have a swords. Oh, that's so good. Swords this. Lotus. I guess I'm never drawing 2 off of this thing because I have too many lands in my hand. And then another wasteland. And then a mental misstep. And then it's and then they're out of here. Uh-oh. Maybe too early from the opponent. We'll see. All right, another Raker opponent. We're going to bring in traps and paths and exercise and stony silence. How did I do this, chat? How did I bring in 9 cards? Did I bring in 9 cards? What did I do? That was game round 1. Oh, wrong one. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I took out Cruise, Gush, Dog, Daze. It's not my fault, Jordan. Every card is good against this stupid deck. It's not my fault. Every single card in Magic is good against Raker Shops. Like, this is not my fault. You know, with my 4 main deck consigns to Jordan, I still went to game 3 in rounds 1 and 2 against Raker and Jewel, and then I lost to Jewel. Sometimes you just don't draw your 4 main deck consigns, and then sometimes you draw 3 of them, like this game. This hand slaps. I'm in. The only cards in Vintage that are not good against Raker are Graveyard Hate. Artifact Hate's good. Creature Hate's good. Counters are good. Force this pitching dig because I can hard cast negation off the Lotus. Stony. Oh. I mean, I think I just play the Stony then. And we have we've got the guy covered. We got Masticore covered. That's probably too good. I mean, I clearly made an incredible meta call today, considering I played against shops, and none of the versions of the shops that lose to that beat Stony Silence. All the versions of shops that lose to Stony Silence. I mean, this game is not won. My opponent can play creatures, and we can have a problem here. This game I have a lot worse. It's a lot worse of a setup than the previous games. So we'll see what we can do. Yeah, so like that we definitely don't want that resolving right now. I think this one is just force pitch Mindbreak Trap, because I think the Snapcaster should have a lot of game once we hit our land drops. And the Mindbreak Trap is probably not online. Though I guess what does negation even counter at this point? Tezzeret. We can get a third land, we'll have Snap Consign. We have no creature removal right now, and we have no Whoa! Portable hole off of Talon Gates. Very nice, opponent. Illegal though. Now we want to draw Quantum Riddler there. Draw 2. That was sick. Talon Gates portable. They can find it off Karn if they get Karn. Well, there's Tezzeret. Do you have another portable hole? If they do, they probably should have tapped differently. We might lose this game. We have a kind of all counter spells, no action, which is not a great recipe. But I did take out the Doggo, so they're just playing Vexing Bauble. That makes sense. Wasteland. So they clearly don't have a portable hole. I'm going to hold onto this Wasteland so that we can play more spells that cost mana. I don't think Wastelanding anything here helps us. They can still draw Saga. What do they draw? A ring? Okay, ring resolves. Now their Tezzeret can tutor again. That does not bump the Tezzeret because it didn't resolve. Okay, that one does bump the Tezzeret. So next turn they can tutor with Tezzeret. If they somehow do have a second portable hole, what is the most recent Raker list? Does it have 2 portable holes? The combo Raker list, the Musasabi list? 1 portable hole. No portable holes. No portable holes. No portable holes. Oh, I mean, I'm good on them for playing the 1 portable hole. I think it's quite good. All right, Consign is fantastic. Can always consign the portable hole trigger as well, because it's not a colorless spell. I don't think they have one. Soul Guide Lantern, that's fine. So yeah, I mean, they're just treading on water here until they find a creature. We don't have a white source to kill a creature yet, but hopefully we'll find one. Teferi, can't cast that. I mean, this is just Stony Silence at work again. Yeah, Ponder, nice. That's good. Fetch land and another. I don't think we need another Stony Silence. I think we got their major answer out, and we still have answers to their other answers. So if they have other answers, like Masticore. I think what I'll do is I'll leave a swords on top and take this fetch. And then... am I willing to play Teferi and shields down? I mean, I think I'm technically allowed to play Shield Teferi because, like, what possible answers can they possibly have that go in one turn? But I don't need to, so it's probably fine to wait and then just fetch away the second swords for a Meticulous Archive, looking for a second white source. No Odawara. This isn't Jewel, this is Raker. Another Soul Guide, huh? Surprising. They can tutor again, but none of their cards do anything, so... I guess if they have a Needle, I'll have to fetch right away. They probably should have a Needle for Wasteland as an option, maybe? Not sure. I'm definitely going to fetch away the second swords, though, and try to find more cards that are good. They should try ulting Tez instead. They could definitely do that. They'd be pretty good here. I did board out my my low to the ground answers to this Tez. I mean, if they hadn't searched a couple times, they probably would have ulti Tez and won this game, I guess. Interesting. Here's a Riddler, but it's gonna lock me into Stony Swords. I guess that's acceptable. I mean, my deck does not close the game fast, especially when I cut the 4 doggos. But if they're drawing 1 card a turn and zeros don't turn on this Tezzeret, it's quite hard to get this Tezzeret up when zeros, because they search for Vexing Bauble. If they hadn't searched for Vexing Bauble, they're going to tutor again. I kind of agree with you, though. I think going for an ultimate here might have been a profitable idea. They took up a Needle, so now they're going to Needle Wasteland. This is only bad for me if my opponent has exactly their 1 Saga. And even if it does, I don't think it's that big a deal, so I'm going to just let this go. So now we're drawing another Stony. I don't know that there's a convincing reason to cast this, but I also don't think we can die with a consign up, so maybe it's fine. Maybe if that's my logic, then I should just be playing this Teferi, so... yeah, I mean, they might have... I think they probably would have ultied this Tezzeret, so... Path to Exile. All right, I guess I am just playing this stupid Tezzeret and not worrying about it. I think I'm just plussing the Tezzeret, though. Plussing the Teferi, I should say. I cannot bounce a Planeswalker with that. That makes a lot of sense. The One Ring is fine. I do need to make sure I can kill this Tezzeret before it ultimates, but that shouldn't be hard to do. Just need to hit any land, right? Yeah. I still think I'm probably supposed to wait till I have 6 lands. Probably. No upgrade on their Tezzeret this turn. Brainstorm. All right, let's bounce something to get an extra card here. Let's actually just not bounce any of these because they all buff the Tezzeret. Okay, I'm gonna change my mind, and I'm going to just cast my thing. Also, like, don't really want to get rid of any of my cards right now, so... Okay. Yeah, I think this game is stonied up. Stony Silence versus the format. I mean, we would have gotten a lot of value out of having some Stonies in the main, like Brian said. Flesh Raker is fine. I have swords for it. I think I just fetch and swords this now. Let's path it. Uh-oh, Tolarian Academy. I'm tapped out. What could they what's the worst thing that could have happened to me there? Kozilek's command, maybe? What's the absolute worst possible thing that could have happened there? No. Like an actual magic card that they can play in their deck. Not the worst possible magic card that they could, like, no, come on, chat. Like an actual magic card that could be in their deck. This is phasing out my Riddler here. So if they, I mean, they can't up their Tezzeret and draw another phasing out thing though, so I don't think it matters. I have 7 cards. I have 4 removal spells, 2 consigns, a brainstorm. I think they're dead. I kind of feel bad almost for the opponent just because our deck is so good against theirs, but we also like lost to Jewel, so anything can happen. All right, here we go. Round 4 of the Vintage Challenge. I think we've hit our 4th Shops opponent, but this will be a different Shops. This will be Sphere Shops, where Stony Silence is not actually good against our opponent, so... That, or they switched to Dredge and we're in a World of Hurt. Here we have a Phaela and extra lands and a Strip Mine. I think that's good. Definitely seems like a reasonable thing. If we can get the Doggo into the Riddler versus Sphere Shops, I think that's a pretty convincing way of winning the game. So I'm going to go with the tapped land to start here. It's very unlikely I'll be able to sword something anyways. And I think I'm going to get rid of this cantrip. Doesn't feel like a game where we're going to be doing very much cantripping. See what Sphere Shops has for us on turn 1 here. Obviously, we don't want to see any kind of spheres or trinispheres or anything like that. Tolarian. Patchwork. Mox. We might have to strip mine our opponent, unfortunately. Soul Ring. Jesus. Okay. I mean, we have an answer for this guy eventually, but... And a Vexing Bauble. So they'll have 4 mana if we don't strip mine. I kind of think I just want to get the Doggo in. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let this happen. At some point I can swords this and pay 2 at 3 mana, but we might just die because of Tolarian Academy here. We'll see what happens. Crucible of Worlds. Well, I'm glad I didn't strip mine. Am I consigning this? If my opponent has a Wasteland, I probably lose the game anyways. Yeah, I have to pay 2 mana to do that, but I could do that. I think I am not countering this Crucible. Feels weird, but... I can beat a Sphere here still. Oh, I'm running hot on not dealing with things that I would immediately lose to. All right. Okay. This is good. So I can take a hit for 7. I flash in a dog. And then I flash in. So then I untap. I swords the Crawler. I play a Quantum Riddler and I flash it back in. And then on the next turn, I can get rid of the patchwork. Is that the plan I want to do here? I think every life point matters, so I'm thinking about swordsing and upkeep. I could also just bounce the crawler and consign it. Yeah, I mean, we're fine. But we have lots of options here. I would like to get a Quantum Riddler going right now. I'm gonna go swords on this crawler before I take a damage, and I'm gonna get my Riddler in play. Maybe my opponent will crack the bauble looking for something good. And I'm going to have to take another huge hit on this patchwork, but then after I can bounce the patchwork with the Phala, so I think just taking one more hit is fine here. I don't know if he's going to crack the bauble or not. Looks like he is, which will give me a way to force the next payoff, and I think we're in good shape. Hopefully there aren't two payoffs this turn. What up? That would be the worst possible thing here is they have double payoff, or even just like sphere into payoff. So there's the Wasteland lock, but we got our creature in play, so I think we made the correct choice. And here's the payoff. It is a Karn. Okay, we'll definitely force Karn. Pitching to Fairy. We're never casting this to Fairy. We're never casting this to Fairy. All right, so if we draw a land, we can exile this forever. And if we don't, we can just reset it. Okay, looks like we're just resetting it. Could still lose to that, though. All right. Is this enough? Please don't be a creature, man. I can't answer a creature right now. I guess I just can't get rid of this. I don't think this cruise matters. What if I draw a fetch land? Consign could be really good. I might just die anyways. So I can't bounce this again. I'm just gonna die. This is all because Jordan said we're fine, man. This is all because Jordan said we're fine. Brother has no idea, man. If opponent draws a land, we don't even win the game because they chump block. I don't think that's not fine. Like, that's not a winning line against no mana versus Tolarian Academy off the like they can play any spell. Like, I don't think that's good. It might win, but like it's not a good spot. Am I wastelanding here? feel like probably it doesn't really help me though. Guess I'd rather make them bring back their wasteland. Gosh. Maybe I did want to keep the treasure cruise. Hmm. Immediate 10-10 stone quick. Yeah, I mean, of course. Yeah, I knew we were losing this game, but pretty unfortunate. The wasteland lock really, really got us. Super unfortunate. Yep. Damn. Just a little bit too powerful of a start from our opponent. This is actually good, right? Because I can attack with the thing and consign the return trigger on Golos. I can't consign the Saga trigger and beat down. That's not a winning line at all. Why would we do that? What I can do is consign the Golos return trigger. I mean, I'm not gonna beat down. And hopefully, I need to get enough damage to win in the air, but I'm not gonna get enough damage to win in the air. Do I have a single draw that gets me anywhere? I mean, I could draw another basic. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I think it's just attack with Doggo. And I have to keep back Riddler. Exile the Golos. They're going to just block for damage. No block. And then when the return trigger comes on the stack, we're going to fetch basic island and cast Consign on it. And they're at 7, but they have 2 on the ground blockers. One and both of them we can't remove. If we draw another fetch land, though, we can warp a Riddler. If we draw another land, we can warp a Riddler and then give us 2 blockers. It's not actually good, though, right? Because they'll have... No, that would work. Oh, but my dog would die. But that would be fine. No, it wouldn't, because I have to chump. So we need to draw, like, land into Lotus, Gush, Time Walk, something like that. All right. Yeah, I think it's going to have to be Lotus, Time Walk, attack with Riddler twice. Didn't get there. Okay. Island. Ponder. Shuffle. Gush. Into Lotus Time Walk. Wait. Does Lotus by itself do anything? Ugh. I can play a Riddler, attack with the dog, and bounce the Riddler. It's not good, because then I lose my dog to a construct. I can attack with my dog and my Riddler and kill the Patchwork Automaton. I lose. I can't keep my Lotus, which is the card I'm trying to find. Attack with my Riddler and die. Gosh is not going to draw 3, chat. Chat. I don't think this can win. So I think I just have to shuffle it. I'm not seeing a way this wins. Man, what a frustrating game this has been. Just the Wasteland lock. No, that's not going to do it unless this has to be exactly Lotus Time Walk. No. Okay. Frustrating game. Just a lost die roll, right? Or did we win the die roll here and I just fell behind too fast to the one Patchwork? Can't remember. All right, this is going to be a lot harder than Raker and Jewel because I don't actually have... Stony Silence is not actually good here. Okay, yeah, I mean, my opponent's hand was just like a little too strong then. They just had, what, Academy, like, quad mocks. It wasn't even, like, the craziest hand of all time from them. I think I made the right choice in putting a Riddler, trying to get a Riddler in play before I got Wasteland locked out of the game. But I meant I didn't have a lot of time because I took 2 hits for 7, right? So, like, I could have made other choices, but I don't think the other choices were good, right? I don't know. We can go back and look at it. I'm sure there's options in that game. I'm not sure that we made bad choices, but it's possible there were some optimizations we could have done. I'm gonna bring in Path to Exile, Mindbreak Trap, and Exorcise. Exorcise. I think we should have a relatively playable matchup here. But not a great one. Get rid of some of the clunkier cards here and run like that. I'll have to go back and look at that first game. It felt like we were so close, but so far. This hand kind of stinks, man. But like, it's got a lot of lands, which is really nice. Fetch basic island ponder. I feel like it's too many lands. I feel like we're not gonna be able to play the game. No mulligan. Try to find something better. This is definitely better. My hand is super weak to Wasteland. I think I could theoretically just get rid of Path and keep the extra land here. Because I'm really just looking to play turn 1 dog into turn 2 Riddler. But this doesn't help me do that. So maybe I just keep Path. But like if I get Wastelanded, it doesn't do anything anyways. I think I'm just going to get rid of this Path to Exile. And I'm going to go Sapphire Krakus go. See how this plays out. This is like one of our better hands because we have one of our 2 Moxen, which is quite hard to get. Ghost Quarter, Ruby, Emerald. I guess this is nice because if I consign my opponent's first play, I can still go dog and play a land next turn. I have 4 swords in my deck, chat. This one I don't care about at all because I can kill the germ token, so. I think I am just gonna go Riddler to start here. Oh, I'm stupid because I'm gonna lose my dog. I'm sorry, chat. I fucked up. Oops. So I guess I'm just losing my Riddler then. Wow, that was really bad play. I should not have done that. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. Don't think I want trap. I really messed that up. I just was stupid play. I just need to like wait a turn here, kill the thing. I would like be able to hold up consign. There's really no reason for me to do this. It's fine though. It's not a big deal. We'll keep pushing forward here. They don't have any more lands, which is super nice. Okay. We just attack and blink my Sapphire. Not that that changes anything. What is going on? Why is this your first thing? Am I supposed to block this chat? Okay. I don't know what that means, but I haven't seen that one before. Are we just equipping the Nettle Cyst? That's totally fine. Like, if they're not advancing the game here, isn't it super bad for them? Just no mana hand? So here we just play a Riddler and then warp the Riddler, right? Sorry, play the Riddler and then bounce the Riddler for an extra mana. Or actually, probably just bounce the Sapphire. Wait, what's happening? Oh, I'm getting my dog dismembered. Nah, I'm not actually. Also, I draw 2 off this Riddler now, and I drew a Force. Okay. Then I'm going to bounce this Sapphire so I can hold up Consign Force. Okay, that was fucking sick. That was so good. Oh, man, that was so good. Yeah, okay. All right, weird. Okay. I like that. I like what we had going on there. That felt good. I wonder if I can bring it over encumbered. Probably not. He's not going to keep in Null Rod, so probably not. Just make the Tolarian Academy make more mana. All right, let's try again. I like what we have going on here. I think we can fall behind really early if it's like a really strong hand from the opponent, but we have the tools. We have the tools. Thank you to my red-white Japanese prison player opponent who had the Burning Wish package in Japan for letting me know about this card. I didn't know this card existed until then. No forces in this hand, though, so whatever happens on turn 1 happens on turn 1. Sphere of Resistance. Okay. I think this is just a strip mine to start. See if we can lock them underneath their own sphere. Okay, fair enough. I guess you're playing a spell. Okay, Saga Gaming. Hopefully there's no follow-up. Okay. Definitely just strip mining the Saga here. Oh my god, another one. Now, if they play a Crucible after this, that's a problem. Mana Crypt. That's 5 mana. So they are not locked under their own sphere here. Crucible probably just wins the game on the spot. I mean, I have an exercise, but... Oh. I see. That's not good. Turn on the sphere. Get in there. All right. I guess I'm playing a fetched land. Oh, I'm in trouble, I think. Oh, it's just no mana crypt flip. Patchy boy. Can't counter it. Can't kill it. That's a problem. Are they going to stand up sphere this time and run it into a swords? Oh, they're tutoring. They tutored a Crucible! They tutored a Crucible! No, not on my turn, chat. I'm not on their turn, on my turn. I can't have 2 mana on my turn. Oh my god. I understand how sphere resistance works. Trust me. I've been here before. They need another mana to play Crucible. We're actually almost at swords this patchwork. Tutor another card. Kidding. Needle on Crucible. Oh, Needle on Wasteland. I guess I have to fetch right now. Should I just fetch a basic plains? Fetching a basic plains is kind of bad. I think I'm just supposed to fetch a basic plains. This is a really bad spot. Oh, I'm not consigning that. There's just no chance. I mean, the Mystic Sanctuary is not really for the 4 workshop matchups. I drew the 4th Wasteland. I see. All right, well, I'm going to play the Wasteland so I can swords this patchwork if I don't have to. I guess I just can't consign this freaking Crucible. Also, like, how many mana crypt flips are they going to win? Another sphere. I think another sphere is fine. Oh, I can't swords this. Fuck, I need 4 mana. So now I'll need 5 mana? God damn it. So I have to force this and then swords it and then hope I can beat a Crucible? Oh no. I guess I'm just taking a hit then. I'm gonna play this tap land this time. I should have played the tap land last time. I didn't realize I couldn't swords this yet. It's okay. It's basically the same on this turn, except I can't hold up consign, which like I have force, so it's not the end of the world. Can't get wastelanded, but they have ghost court. I get a basic island, so that's fine. I think we are actually okay now. I think we might have gotten there. I think. Stand up sphere. Okay. Ow. I mean, they can't replay it. If they stand up here, we can swords it on our turn too. No, chat. We're good. We're good. What are we talking about? Lots of options here. Lots of options here. Stand-up sphere. All right, I'm definitely allowed to just swords this patchwork. All right, I can't play another spell, but I don't think they can play another spell. And then on my turn, I can swords this. No, they ripped. Oh, wait, they didn't use the. Oh, they can't use the wasteland. Okay. Okay. I don't want to swords this because they can just replay it. So I want to hold open consign and swords here. Mana crypt. They just keep winning all the mana crypt flips. Sapphire. Okay, I'll swords it now. Because they already used their Karn. I could strip mine this waste if I wanted to. Right now, a land lets me play Riddler. I could also possibly cruise. I know they still have a Crucible in their hand, which they can play next turn for sure. All right. Still no second blue. They won another crypt flip. Crucible. Counter. We're falling apart here. We're falling apart here. This stupid Karn card, man. I assume they tutor their sphere back up, I guess. I don't know. I think next turn's a Treasure Cruise turn, because we got the Crucible. Another Wasteland that's turned off. I'm super happy my opponent turned off Wasteland. If my opponent hadn't turned off Wasteland, I would be in trouble here. Could always warp a Riddler as well. Cool game. I mean, it's a cool game, that's for sure. It's turn 10, man. My opponent's at 16. They only gained 5 from swords, so they've only taken what? 3? No, 4? I guess 4 is kind of a lot. All right, stand up so the sphere. Oh no. All right, I think I have to get rid of this sphere. Okay, I'm gonna kill this sphere, and then I am going to cruise. They can get it back, obviously, but... Cruise. Okay. Let's fetch for a basic island and time walk. And then let's play a Riddler. And then let's play a tap land. I think I want 2 forces total. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Oh no, I don't want 2 forces. Well, I can hardcast a force. Ah, shit. Maybe I wanted to bin that. They just win a crypt flip again? They did. What is this? 5 mana Golos. Does that matter? What do they even tutor for? I guess an Inventor's Fair. No, Saga's in the yard. It's Inventor's Fair. I think I counter it. Oh, Academy. Sure, yeah. Scrawling Crawler. Nice. They can just get this back with Karn. All right. Well, this force is good then. Hardcast force is pretty good here then. All right. So this attack, kill Karn. They've just never lost a crit flip. Never. Ah, shit. I actually can't attack the Karn because of this needle. Now I have to draw swords. I mean, like, I have to attack, man. I can't just sit here and not attack. I guess I have to sit here and not attack. It's like super bad for me if they're 8-thing Karn just... Can I warp? I can theoretically warp, right? Can I draw... Can I go for warp, chat? Like, if I go for warp, I still have the ability to cast force. I'm stupid, dude. I'm so stupid, man. Need to draw swords. I mean, I have. Okay, oh, I used a lot of swords, actually. Why not hardcast it? Because my opponent search up a Scrawling Crawler and kills me. I can still hardcast it after. I can do both, right? Oh, no, I can't because it doesn't come back. Wait, when does it warp? Oh, end of turn. Okay, so I guess I have to hardcast it. All right, so I have to draw... exactly a removal spell, right? Or a consign. I have a lot of consigns. Yeah, sure. I got there. Oh my god. I had a lot of answers, man. I had a lot of answers, okay? I had a bunch of consigns and everything, so it's fine. So I don't have to... I can play my dog, right? Oh my god. How is it lethal? How do I get one more damage, chat? Because they finally lost a mana crypt flip? Let's go! What did I don't get a 1/1 counter till the end, right? Oh, I do die to Needle here. I don't know, man. I'm too stressed. No, I actually do need to bounce. Well, I can't actually bounce anything. Wait, so like, what am I supposed to do here? I'm supposed to hold the dog back. I attack for here. I hold the dog back, and I bounce the thing with Teferi. Is what I was actually supposed to do. Can I force though? I can't force though. Oh, I mean, I think I also threw a bunch of times. Oh, I have to attack Karn with the dog. Okay. Whoops. Yeah. I gotta kill Karn. Then I can do whatever I want. Yeah. Well, I mean, I just threw it here. If I lost this crypt flip, I die. No, I played badly at the end. Yeah, this attack was bad, but I was like, yeah, that was not good. Yeah. If you had animated a sphere 1 turn sooner, would I have swords your sphere though? I guess it doesn't really matter because you just get you can just get everything I swords back with Karn. How is this a reasonable Magic card? But yeah, this attack was really bad. I needed to blink the Germ and attack Karn, and then my opponent would still be at 3, which is pretty much the exact same. Because now I die to this stupid Needle again. I could Teferi, bounce the Germ, attack, flicker the Germ. Sure. I could have done that too. That doesn't really matter though. I think I could have played this game better. We need to go back and look. I feel like there are about a million spots we could have played this better. All right, let's take a look at game 1, because I felt like losing game 1 was like really, really bad. So let's see. I played a tap land. I binned the Ponder. That's good. Then this was all the Moxen. So I went for land go. I think I played this game great though, right? Because I didn't waste the Tolarian. I didn't counter the Crucible. So like I stopped myself from instantly losing the game by doing either of those things. My opponent just played all of their cards. I played Dog, which was good. And then I went to my turn, and then I chose to Swords Crawler and play Riddler. No, I like this play. I think this line was good. Like, my opponent just had a really, really strong hand. We didn't fall into any traps. We didn't fall into Wasteland Trap. We didn't fall into Counter Crucible Trap. We did our Dog plus Riddler combo, and we removed the Crawler, leaving just a Patchwork to be dealt with, and the fact that he can crack Bauble and draw an extra card. But we have a Force after he cracks Bauble. So, like, realistically here, I have a Dog, a Riddler, and my opponent has 2 unknowns, and I have a Force. Like, that's a good spot. I think Jordan's not unreasonable in thinking this is a good spot. The problem is one of the 2 cards that was drawn was Wasteland, and we instantly get squeezed. What we needed to do was immediately draw a land so that we could consign away the Patchwork Automaton, right? He drew Karn Waste off of Bauble draw for turn. That's so crazy. And we forced pitching Cruise, which I think is... No, pitching Teferi, because we're never casting Teferi, which makes sense. We want to keep Consign because we can theoretically here draw a land and get rid of the Patchwork permanently. And then we even have negation off of the top. I think this was a good game from us. I think we just missed. Because here I reset this Patchwork, and then I'm forever locked underneath a Wasteland lock, and I lose, right? I should probably have kept Treasure Cruise and not Consign at this point, though. Because this way, if I draw a fetch land, I could have immediately cruised. That was a big mistake, for sure. I don't know if that helps me. Like, a fetch land basic island cruise here is actually really good, whereas Consign is not. I mean, Consign is still not bad if I'm racing, which I'm not. But here I have to leave I have to blink the Riddler so that I can block, which I do. I definitely should have kept Cruise. Because here I have Fetch Island, Cruise. I mean, here it's too late, but I don't know. I actually think I like how I played this game. Like, we lost this game, but I actually think I like how we played it. I think we had the highest chance of winning this game with the line we chose, and we just kind of needed opponent to brick on this turn that they drew the 2 cards where they drew Karn Wasteland. If it was like Karn plus creature or something, maybe we're okay. I mean, it kind of has to be a brick. Like, it kind of has to be like a workshop plus a spell. Because at that point, if we don't get wastelanded here, we get rid of the Patchwork Forever, and then we like cruise our way to victory. I think this game was really close, actually. So that seems fine. Obviously, game 2 was just a trouncing, and then game 3 was weird. So do I like Strip Mine to prevent my opponent from, maybe lock my opponent under Sphere? Yeah, I think so. I don't think playing Lotus is as good as wastelanding here. And then you play Lotus and Saga. I have to waste. I guess I don't have to waste. I could have played Lotus and exercised the Saga. I mean, how often is my Lotus actually getting turned off later in this game? Like, it's like so bad. Like, it's just like, it's super unfortunate because I held, like, I think wastelanding is correct, and then I just got Karned, right? Like, actually, coming back from this spot is pretty impressive because this is a bad spot. You also won a lot of mana crypt flips. I gave you some life back, though, so that's part of it. I guess we won't have time to go through the rest of this game, but I don't believe I played this game very well. I think I played some of it well. This turn was really bad because I thought I could swords, but I couldn't sword, so I was really supposed to play the Mystics. I could hold up the Consign 1 turn earlier. Because if I had done that, I guess I wouldn't have been able to counter the Sphere anyways. I would have to force the Sphere. I should maybe have forced the Sphere. Maybe I was supposed to. No, I knew you had a Crucible, so I couldn't force the Sphere. Because if you get a Crucible here, I lose. That's why I was trying to hold Consign this whole game. Wild game, really cool game. But yeah, we're gonna go to the next round. Okay, here we go. We're now into round 5 of 6. This would be a really good one to win. Not a lock by any means, but it's required. So let's do the win. Don't know what our opponent is on, but this hand seems reasonable enough. I'm gonna go tap land, Lotus, hold up in negation, force, and then we have untaps into other things. Consign. God, it's not I think with no Lurrus reveal, I'm okay with keeping that on top. If they revealed Lurrus, I would definitely bottom that. But no Lurrus reveal, it's only really bad against Dredge. Saga. Mana Crypt. Is this our 5th Shops opponent in a row? It is. It's our 5th Shops opponent in a row. I might have to consign this Saga trigger. So I think I'm going to force this pitching Time Walk, and then... So I'm not going to crack this, and if they have any zeros, it's like really bad for me. I mean, I kind of want to just be able to swords this. Maybe I can get... It's not that bad if I have to swords it using Lotus to prevent a win. I think it's okay. I think I'm allowed to let this resolve. Immediately punished. But like also if like they play a top, I can hardcast negate a top and then still swords this after. I still have a force. Maybe I should have just forced the stupid Raker, man. If I play a ring after all this, it'd be crazy. No, okay. So that worked out. That worked out. So now we're untapping here with a consign for the Saga, a swords for the Flesh Raker, and a force still available. It's not the greatest spot, but my opponent had a really strong one, so yeah, I'm gonna consign this. I don't think I'm beating constructs from this spot. It's Hilarion Academy. So I have a problem here in terms of Vexing Bauble. Fetch. Okay, I think I like... Oh, I don't have a Meticulous Archive to fetch. I wanted to fetch a Meticulous Archive here so badly. I think I'm just going to cast Time Walk. Because I don't think holding up in force here is valuable. And I can draw like Riddler. Caracas. That's not even an island that lets me Meticulous Archive back something. Not Meticulous Archive, it's not even an island that will let me, what is that card called? Mystic Sanctuary back something here. All right, I do believe we are in trouble. We'll see what happens, though. I assume this is Vexing Bauble. I guess it could just be top, and then in which case I look like a fool. I look like a fool, don't I? I don't know. I still think I'd make the same play. Maybe not. But like, if I get top and I have one force for the cards on top, that's like not really good either. Like, I need to advance my own game plan at some point in this game. Ooh, we are so dead. We are so incredibly dead. Manifold Key. Now they can draw 2 cards every turn. Yeah, we're dead. Maybe I do just need Stonies in the main, man. Kind of brutal. But opponent had a great draw. Like, this is one of the better draws you can have. Saga, Mana Crypt, turn 1 Raker, multiple Moxen, Sensei's top. It's one of the better ones. We had some good interaction, but we don't have any follow-up. We don't have an Ancestral. We don't have a Quantum Riddler. We don't have anything like that. Do they just have Natural Volkey right away? What is this? Oh, the One Ring. Yeah, okay. All right. Seems like we have a trouble beating Raker in game 1s before Stony, which I'm finding quite surprising, but we have 4 main deck consigns. How do we keep losing all of our game 1s to the colorless artifact deck with our 4 main deck consigns? It's crazy. I just know that if my opponent was if the person playing my deck was my opponent, they would like have Ancestral into Treasure Cruise, you know? I've seen it so many times. My opponent is still going off, by the way. This is crazy. This is all from one Sensei's top. It doesn't really. That's kind of a lie. Oh, we're actually just dead? That's crazy. I don't think Clarion Conqueror is good. The card costs 3 mana. We don't have the mana to support Clarion Conqueror, in my opinion. I don't think Clarion Conqueror is like. I think Clarion Conqueror is a totally fine thing to be wanting to play in this deck, but I just don't think you can reasonably play it. I would rather just play main deck Stony Silence. A lot easier, a lot harder to deal with too. I don't think we can win this game regardless. It's my consign. All right, the good news is these post-board games, we haven't really lost any because if you play a Stony Silence, the deck can't win. So we take our 4 main deck consigns and then we bring in another 9 cards again. I don't really like negation very much. And yeah. Was that what I was taking out? I was taking out negations. Yeah. It was a cruise or a ponder. That's probably right. Yeah, I don't know. The biggest problem is like we just don't know what our opponent is doing on turn 1, and we have like I don't know. I think like it's fine if we like have a follow-up Riddler or a follow-up Ancestral, right? Like that's what we needed there, but we didn't have it, so. All right, another 2 post-forward games against Raker. This is like probably a keep because it's a pretty good chance of getting to Stony. It's not a great hand by any means, but it's very likely to be a turn 1 Stony. Not very likely. It's like possibly that this is a turn 1 Stony. So I don't think you can put that back. There's our Stony, and then we have a Brainstorm follow-up. That's pretty good. All right. So we're pretty well covered here from most of the things they can do. The best play, which we saw against Mistaken, was that Portable Hole is off of the Talent Gates is pretty nice. We might even want to just wait on the Brainstorm until after we draw that Swords, so we have more creature answers. I mean, we're not playing around Mind Break Trap, so. Defense Grid Vexing Bobble, you got it. I could get to the point where I Gush before I Brainstorm, which would be pretty sick. I think I'm just gonna wait here. I think another Swords is good, because like their best plays are like Masticores and Crawlers and stuff. Well, I kind of want the Swords, right? I guess I would keep the Swords anyways. Yeah, I know. I know I'm not casting the Gush into the Vexing Bubble chat. I am aware. Thank you, though, for your extra help. Jesus. Okay. Force and Gush go away. And then I think I just double crack for Riddler. Okay, so the best thing that can happen for my opponent here is they have their 1-up Portable Hole, they play a different land, and they cast Portable Hole on Stony and kill us. Nothing we can do if that happens. Their next best plays are all like creatures. But once you play turn 1 Stony Silent, it's mostly locked up from there. Yeah, I'm just gonna get a Teferi going. So we could have bounced this Bobble and Gushed, but chat never saw the line. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just being antagonistic for fun. I might just bounce the defense grid to make them replay the defense grid. Kind of want to draw a card. I don't think waiting on this Teferi is helping us at all. So, because all of the things that we would want to bounce, we answer already. So I think I'm just going to cash in the draw. And I was instantly rewarded by drawing an Ancestral that I can cast. I think the Portable Hole off of a Talon Gates is a pretty good answer. I'd like to get a second Stony. Hey, there's a second Stony. I don't have any way of countering a Tezzeret. I just want to get my Quantum Riddler going. But I think I would rather insulate myself for one more turn here. Do I want a Wasteland? Kind of don't want a Wasteland because I want... Yeah, I don't think I want to Wasteland because I don't want to lose my mana that can cast Quantum Riddler here. And with Quantum Riddler and a Vexing Bauble, we should be pretty good against the Tezzeret. Okay, now I can Wasteland. Yeah, I mean, I really like this matchup post-board. All of these decks that die to Stony Silence have been quite good post-board matchups. But main board, still not good enough, even with Fork and Sign. So it might just be that you have to play main deck Stony. That might just be required. I can bounce the bobble, chat. I actually like the bobble in play because it makes it harder for us to get Tezzeretted. Because Tezzeret only is when it enters, so zeros getting countered won't up the Tezzeret. I think I'm just gonna go with hard cast. Gosh, because this still costs 6. So yes, every match today has been against a Shops deck. We are 5 for 5. I'll go put Ancestral back on the top of my library. We're almost to the point where I can cast spells on their turn. Yeah, I don't really agree with that statement, but I'm happy that you feel that way. All right. I guess we're gonna kick some things to hand size here. I don't need another Teferi. I don't need a Mindbreak Trap, I guess. Surprised we're still playing this game, to be honest, but maybe they want to see more of my deck. All right, here we go. Game 3 now. We need to survive the initial onslaught with Mindbreak Traps and then resolve Stony Silence, removing creatures with our 6 removal spells. Should be totally reasonable. Oh, yeah, I don't care about those cards. Like, we've been dealing with those cards all day. Like, they don't care about Stony Silence, but they do care about all this, and the dog bounces the Germ token. It's been pretty straightforward. Do I want Force of Negation on the draw? I'm considering it, but I don't really want it. I feel like it doesn't hit anything good, and 2-for-1s ourselves. Kind of don't like it at all. I mean, it's probably better than Dig Through Time, let's be real here. It's probably just better than Dig Through Time and Gush. Those cards just, like, don't ever happen. So, I don't really like negation against Raker. Like, 2-for-1ing yourself to hit one of their, like, I get, like, because we don't care about the ring at all, because our deck is based around Stony Silencing, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to, like, have negations in. Because, like, you can just let the ring resolve, untap, and Stony Silence them. It just doesn't matter. All right, well, this hand obviously doesn't function, so we're going to have to mulligan it and hope we get a better one. This one has a Stony Silence, but it has no way to get us there. I mean, I think this is priced into keeping this one, and then we see where the chips fall. It's not a good spot. Because if we play against, like, our opponent's turn 1 hand in game 1, we're going to lose. Unfortunately, that's just mulliganing. That's going to happen. Just Ancient Tomb go. I see. Fuck does that mean? Ancient Tomb go. I mean, it sounds like we're wastelanding them. Ancient Tomb go? What kind of acceptable keeps our Ancient Tomb go? Like turn 2 ring? It just doesn't hurt us very much to wasteland here. It's turn 2 ring anyways. So yeah, I mean, this is worse for me. This ended up way worse for me. This ended up way worse for me because I would have just had Stony after this. So this is like so much worse. I should not have listened. My God, I should not have listened to chat. I should have just taken my gut instinct, man. I threw the whole game by, just take the gut instinct, man. Don't listen to anything chat says. Just terrible play. I can just hold up swords as a way to not die. I have this covered, but now they're drawing an extra 2 cards. Horrible play. I don't have a wasteland for that right now. That's fine. Okay, I mean, this could have been worse. It's not about a coin flip. It's just, like, think about the options. Think about what they could have. Like, Stony Silence, I just want to be a turn closer to Stony Silence. I want to be a turn closer to Stony Silence, and I just put myself a turn farther from Stony Silence for no reason. It was just a really bad play. I need to find a wasteland. I need to find a land. If a land would be good. A land so I can play Stony Silence, hold up Consign. I want to randomly die there. I think it's better to wasteland than to randomly consign. All right, so now my opponent has an 8-card hand and a Stony Silence in play. Can they get out of it? Here's the Talon Gate, so they could maybe have a portable hole on the next turn. Not on this turn, though. Forge is good. Waste the shops? What the? Okay, I'm never reading chat ever again. Y'all are nuts. Crazy talk. Waste the shops. Bro, we are never, ever, 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 ever wasting the shops there. That's like a game-losing play. This doesn't matter. We don't have that many ways to remove this forge. We have Exercise and Teferis. We are not out of the woods yet in this game. My opponent got way too much advantage from the one turn here. No, that's not the problem. You're not even thinking about the actual problem, Rio. The actual problem is Ancient Tomb Construct. Snap Ponder, Snap Walk. I think it's just cantrip Quantum Riddler. If we hit a land, we can consign if we wanted to. I don't think we will. So the question is, do we consign our Quantum Riddler? I don't think so. I think I need to be able to beat something that kills Stony Silence. What kills Stony Silence? Portable Hole off of Ancient Tomb Talon Gates, which we can beat with consign. Karn somehow could be pretty bad. Massacre we have covered with swords. So I don't think I need this Quantum Riddler to get consigned. I think I would rather have consign and then maybe snap consign later. The one problem with this way of playing the game out is my opponent has the active Mystic Forge, which is quite annoying. It's going to help push them to cards that matter, including Tezzerets, which they can now cast. So this game is, like I said, it's not over. This game is still a lot to be done because of the initial mistakes. See if we can pull through, though. What the good thing is that they can't activate this forge to get rid of the top card, and also they can only play lands once per turn, and they can't play lands off of this. So those are the good things about this spot. Okay, we still have a Snapcaster Mage, we have Consign, we have Riddler, we have Negation. So with Negation, we should be able to go for Riddler Consign this turn, because Negation should help cover us. Fetch land. I've used both my fetch lands that are good. I got rid of Gush. I won't have the ability to snap consign this turn. I will have to pitch Snapcaster if something bad happens. Is that acceptable? I guess that's acceptable. I mean, I could just wait for another land drop and just start casting these Quantum Riddlers and not... It seems worse. I do want, like, to clock my opponent, though. This feels like a greedy line, but I'm also, like, kind of worried about Mystic Forge. I'm going to consign the Warp Trigger. Riddler does not draw cards on attack, but, like, attacking is important to ending this game. Like, if I can live through this turn without countering a spell, it'll mean I'll be able to hold up Hardcast Negation and snap Consign on future turns, and then maybe even snap Time Walk later. Tezzeret doesn't matter. Oh, wait, Tezzeret gets the portable hole, so it does matter. But I think I'd rather the Tezzeret found the portable hole and I countered it, maybe. This is bad. This is the exact thing I was worried about. Now I'm going to negate the portable hole, which means the Karn can find it later. And I won't even have Snap Consign. This was really bad. This was really, really bad. I think I overdid it. Assuming they have the portable hole in their list, which most lists are not running the portable hole, only some are. If they don't have a portable hole in this list, then this is a great play for us. Because nothing really matters from this spot. I think I'm trying to get this game to end because I think this Mystic Forge is still really strong. I will only draw 2 if I can play my land or something after I force pitch and then cast Riddler. Why wouldn't they have it in the main deck after getting Stony Silence out of game 2? If they have it, they have it now, and they're gonna cast it now. They went for oh my god, they they hit a bobble off the top and they searched for portable hole. Okay, we lost the game on my play. All right, my bad. I threw the game, chat. I threw the game. This was the exact scenario that I had to try to avoid happening. I mean, it's really unfortunate because they just hit the fucking Vexing Bobble off the Mystic Forge, but this is the exact scenario I could have avoided by not consigning my... I just threw the game. I threw the game. Did not play patient enough. Did not play patient enough. I threw it. I played this game so badly. I super deserved to lose. I just have to play patient. I have consign. I can't lose if I just play patient. Just straight up threw the whole game away for no reason. No, we're not living. What you play the deck? You know we're not living. I threw the game. Sorry, chat. I threw the game. I threw the game so many times. I just threw the game so many times. You can't make a mistake when you play a deck like this. These fair decks that are super low power, if you make a single mistake, you just lose on the spot. But this is totally avoidable. But the problem is the longer I wait, the more likely this turn happens. But they had the Talon Gates, 3 of, and they found the portable hole, and they... I had the portable hole covered, which is why I did this, but I didn't have opponent top deck's Vexing Bobble off of the Forge to cover the portable hole covered. What's the reason for not countering the Tezzeret? Because I cannot counter the Tezzeret? It is this thing that is not going to work. It's just because my opponent hit Bobble off of Forge. But like I said, the longer this game goes, the first Tezzeret, because I'm not countering the first Tezzeret because all of these things can still happen, right? One, we don't know that my opponent has a portable hole or not. 2, if they do have a portable hole, I can still counter it and just kill the Tezzeret, so it's the same outcome. The only way but 3, they could just play another Tezzeret and then they get the portable hole. So countering the Tezzeret is way worse than countering the portable hole because they only have 1 portable hole where they have 4 Tezzerets. But yeah, I'm not gonna actually draw into the land a hard cast and hold up consign for multiple turns. So there's no guarantee that I'm gonna actually be winning this game by waiting here. The early waste was horrendous. It was a terrible play. And I knew it wasn't a great play at the time, but I kind of just let the oh yeah, just waste. Oh, just waste. But the early waste was so bad for us. We lost multiple card draws and also a ton of time. But like the thing is, like Tomb Go doesn't mean anything. Like it's not susceptible. It's actually just a lie. Like Tomb Go means nothing, and we have swords covering Raker. So like there's no reason for us to waste. It puts us a turn back from casting our Stony Silence, which is locking our opponent from playing the game. And it's just a terrible play. It's just a terrible play. Wastelanding there was an awful play, and I just like I didn't do my due diligence as a streamer to make the right play. So it's my fault. All right, I'm back. We talked with chat a little bit about the two very apparent plays from round 5. I think that the Wasteland play is the worst one. The Wasteland play was pretty game-breaking for us. And with the Swords to Plowshare covering a bunch of the Raker draws and the Stony Silence covering a bunch of the One Ring outcomes, like the only really poor problems with Wasteland there is Tezzeret. Or by not wasting there is Tezzeret, and I think that's playable through, but it's a little hard to gauge even then. But I think that one I would go back and I would do differently. The one that's like way closer is the one at the end that visibly killed us, where we consigned to keep our guy in play so that we could start clocking our opponent before we died to Mystic Forge, which we immediately died to Mystic Forge by doing that. We went over the pros and cons of doing that and the constraints on us based on the Mystic Forge existing. And I think that one's actually quite close. I don't know how I would do that again if I was presented the situation. It feels bad to lose immediately from doing that play, but I'm also not convinced that that means that it was wrong. We were under a tremendous amount of pressure from the Mystic Forge in that game, and we were not really in a position where we could push because we would have to draw a land before we were reasonably able to play Riddler. So like if we don't do anything and then they just like play a bunch of cards off of their forge and then don't do anything that matters, we untap and don't draw a land. We've not forwarded the game. We're not putting a pressure on our opponent. Our opponent gets another full turn of Mystic Forging. I think it makes sense why I chose to do the thing I did, do the thing I did, and we did lose because of it. But obviously in the moment I was really pissed off about it, but I think it's very justifiable. So you got to look at those things, I think, afterwards when you can take a step back and try to discharge and disconnect the emotion from it. Because obviously, I don't know, I like getting emotional in a game of Magic is not great, but obviously the game was over. And as long as you can disconnect and reset, then it's not a big deal. I think it's just mostly about, caring how well you play and trying to improve and being better each time. It looks like our opponent is on Lurrus, so we have finally dodged a Shops player. Now we, of course, have Consign in our main. Let's see what we can do here in our 6th and final round versus Lurrus Frog. I think our breakers are quite poor, so it's going to be very hard for us to top 8 this event. That's okay, though. Let's see if we can go 4-2, have a nice showing here for Riddler. The number one thing I want to do from this spot is convince other people to try and iterate on Riddler decks, because I think they're quite good and I want people to work on them because I don't really have time to work on decks. I don't think that they are so good that I will drop PO or anything, right? But I do think that they're good enough to be played, and I think they're not being played to the level I think that they're capable of holding a meta share. So all right, I led with the Scalding Tarn because I want to fetch Basic Island off of it. I want to fetch Basic Plains off of the Strand. All of that will let us play against the Wasteland game plan of the Frog deck. Consign doesn't have a lot of great trigger options here, but I wanted to hold up Consign on turn 1 in case my opponent played on Color Moxen of some sort. Looks like my opponent's going to Spell Pierce my Ponder, which I think is acceptable. Basics Island for them. And Consign. All right. So now we have a problem, though, where if I do want to go for this Swords, if I want to go for this Consign, then I have to fetch a Tundra, which is not great. We also get a lot of value by more aggressively playing our spells because we want to get to draw more cards off of Riddler. Another Consign. So this is like the big issue with The consigns main is when you don't play against one of the 5 shop stacks. I feel like we've drawn more consigns in this game than the game ones against the shop stacks, which is not great. I think I'm supposed to waste that saga, and we can look for maybe Riddler consign on the next turn here. Though I don't really want to get Bowmastered, so why do we have 4 consign main? Because we're playing Riddler Fayella. And I think consign is quite good in the metagame in Vintage. Like, I played against 5 shop stacks today. I'm pretty smart. What can I say? I feel like we didn't draw them enough against our shop stacks, but that's sometimes how it goes. Okay, I think I'm willing to do a Wasteland here. Yeah, so like you can Fayella, you can consign the Riddler trigger, Warp trigger, and you can consign the Fayella trigger. I will respond to Wan Shitong with a basic planes. And then this is a 1/1 that I don't really care much about. So I think it just is fine. Basic swamp. All right. We're all ready. All right, I'm going to play a dog. Kind of doubt that this dog lives, but... pretty worried about Bowmaster, honestly. That's kind of a problem here. It's a huge issue here. Oh, they're going to force the Fayella. Pitching negation. Okay. Land is probably a good draw. Ponder. I think we are super... I guess we have it covered with swords. What is this? This is on search. I guess I'm just going to cast Ponder then. If they have a Bowmaster, I think we just swords... Oh, just nothing? I see. All right. Well, I'm going to take fetch and an additional swords. And I'll probably have to swords this stupid Wan Shitong, I guess. Okay. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to not fetch this probably so I can have another swords. Waste. Also so I don't get wastelanded. I can fetch another basic island. I believe we have 2 basic islands. So I'll draw that swords and... Oh, I guess I have to fetch now so that I can... Do I care if they... I don't really care if they have a Bowmaster if I get to successfully resolve consign, right? So I will warp my Riddler. Here's the Bowmaster. I think we just, like, eat the bigger thing because we're going to have a 4/5 that they can't kill because they tapped out of Spell Pierce, right? This has to resolve, but feels doable. If this resolves, like, how do they kill a 4/6 5-mana card, right? As blue-black? Oh, they had negation blue card as their last 2 cards. All right, well, we have another Riddler consign. As long as they don't top deck Twister here. What'd they hit? Another Bowmaster? That might be too many things. Is that too many things? It draws... Okay, I need to think for a second. I'm at 9. If I swords and play Riddler, I draw 2. I can go to 5. I can go to 6. Okay, so I think I swords 1, draw 2, take 2, and make a 4/6 still. This is a 5/6. I think drawing 2 is worth it. Yeah, I think so. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna swords one of them. Play a Riddler with warp. This thing draws 2. I get shot for 2. I still can block this unless they top deck another one. And then, so like top deck Twister and top deck third Bowmaster are the things I'm really worried about here. And then I can get a dog to bounce this. Wow, crazy game, actually. That negation pitching dig was wild on my first consign. I mean, I will take one. You got a Bowmaster, you got a Bowmaster. What am I gonna do? All right, bye, Lurrus. Fair enough. Caracas. I don't want to show them Caracas yet. Oh, I can't block. No, I don't think we want to play another Riddler because that will make this a 6/6. That would be a pretty bad play. We just wait again here, and then we get a dog going. And then I think we're in the clear. I can't make a block on the Bowmaster yet, though. Oh, I think I can't play Lurrus yet. So I can make a block on the Bowmaster. So that's fine, actually. They have 2 unknowns and a Lurrus. They can... Yeah, I mean, I think I make the block, right? I feel like I make the block. There are ways this goes badly, like Black Lotus is pretty bad for me. Fatal push. I just couldn't play the Krakus out because of the Wasteland. All right, dog down. This is really unfortunate. Already used 2 swords. Now I don't even think, like, now I get Wasteland, it's even worse for me. There had to be a fatal push there, huh? There's the Wasteland. Mental misstep. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Maybe I should have just blocked the Bowmaster at one point. I feel like it was so bad to block the Bowmaster. Now I can't. Might have to double block this army token. I have so many good answers to army token, but I just haven't drawn any. Snap is pretty fucking good. Snap swords. Okay. With misstep coverage. Let them attack first. Snap. Have a force for it. I'm slowly dying. And they drew Jet to play Lurrus. I can bounce it with Caracas, but it means I'm further from playing Riddler. Gosh, no! Chat! I feel like losing this game is so silly. I only have 2 swords left in my deck. A dog is good, though. I'm almost at the point where I can't cast this other Riddler. No! I just only have draw spells. I'm gonna get Bowmaster to death. Because this thing is exactly a 5/5. Alright, I think I wait one more turn here. This time I finally draw all of my spells that like let me close a game, but I can't cast any of them. I must have misplayed somewhere in this game. Maybe on the very first attack I could have blocked the Bowmaster. I mean, I feel like playing for double blocks is completely silly. I had like a wasteland, so I was never making it to that point. All right, I need to... I don't even know what I can draw my swords on my own thing, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't matter, man. I just like... I don't know. God damn it. Did I really fuck this game up? Like, was it me? It's like really hard to go to 1 to block a Bowmaster when they can just buy it back with Lurrus later in the game. I can't believe we lost that game. I'm so mad. What did I do? All right. I'm going to bring in... I actually don't have that many cards to bring in here. I don't know if that's actually good. Probably isn't. Maybe it's just paths for negations and we call it a day. But then I have all these consigns. I don't know. We'll look at it at the end. We'll look at it at the end. But I have no idea. I thought we were for sure winning that game. I thought we definitely won that game. I'm so surprised we lost. I feel like every time I had a good play, they had a forced blue card. I guess it makes sense because they had no lands, right? So like, what else could they possibly have had? And then like the time we drew the dog, they had a fatal push, and then we drew a misstep right after. Maybe I shouldn't have swords the Wanshi-Tong. I wanted to fetch though. I feel like everything just went so badly in that game. Like we even got them to spell pierce a ponder instead of like a consign. Yeah, it's probably a keep. It's a little awkward, but it's a lot of consigns. I mean, if I can get a consigned doggo going, it's pretty good, but we weren't really able to get anything going. 3-3 in this tournament would be a pretty big disappointment. All right, well, doggo, condemn. I ain't playing condemn. I don't have a problem with playing Path to Exile. We played we played 4 matches today where Path to Exile would not have fetched a basic. I am not worried about that in the slightest. Damn, didn't draw the blue land that we needed here. I don't think I want this time walk. Pretty sure I want to be able to find more islands if I get wastelanded here. Oh, bounce this pearl. I mean, I feel like if we drew a fetch land there, we'd be in a pretty good spot. We could just warp a Riddler and immediately blink it, assuming they didn't have a fatal push. If I get wastelanded here, it's pretty bad. But if I get a land after, of course. Of course. Well, they're not going to wasteland me. They're going to hold up in Bowmaster. They're going to fetch on my upkeep. Okay. Bowmaster, I guess? Like, what does this mean? Ancestral? Long goodbye? I don't want to say a long goodbye for my doggo. All right, if I draw a blue land, I can consign Riddler here, though. Unfortunate. I mean, we're still casting a Riddler. Come on, come on, come on. Fetch, 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 fetch. Wasteland Gaming. I don't think I'm strip mining because I want to be able to play dog after. I think. I don't know. Maybe taking them off of blue-black here is worth it. I could strip the waste. I feel like that's like a sign of weakness. Maybe I could strip the waste. I don't know. That feels real bad, though. They just have follow-up land. I mean, I have so many lands in my deck. Like, shouldn't I be trying to play towards, like, having land? I don't know. Maybe you're right. Just wasteland gaming. I have so many basics in my deck, it just doesn't matter, though. Yeah. I think we're dead. We don't even have removal spells. We have all of our clunky cards and no mana. Okay. Yeah, maybe I had to. I don't know. Seems real rough for me. Like, if I'm stripping the waste, like... I feel like I should just be trying to play towards hitting my land drops, but... I feel like a 3-drop is bad. I don't know. I should just get Spell Pierced here and I just die on the spot, but... These games have gone very, very poorly. Not a good sign, because, man, they kept in negation against me. I don't know about that one. Okay. Okay. Not a good sign, considering I kind of built this deck as a way to go over the top of blue-black Lurrus. They haven't even played a single frog. Like, I'm not even dying to frog. Just getting out blue-carded. Here's a frog, and they'll have a counter for my swords, I guess. Oh, I should have responded to that for sure. Sorry. I'm a little checked out now. I 100% should have responded to that demonic tutor. They really shouldn't, like... There's no way, right? There's no way they DT'd for a mental misstep, right? Alright, well, I mean, I'm just not allowed to play the game. I get wastelanded once, and I'm not allowed to play the game. I'm pretty ready to concede, chat. Don't really... How can this have gone worse? They probably tutored for that. Lurrus, looping, spell bomb. I don't have any. Okay, yeah, I'm out of here. That's a really disappointing way to end, but we just like weren't allowed to play the game at all. Maybe I have to just mulligan a hand that looks like that, and I have to like mulligan to it. Having to mulligan to a hand that has like mana that doesn't die to wasteland, it feels like a losing proposition. Is that really how I want to play games out? I don't know, man. That felt bad though. Let me look at the game 1 though, in case there was something we missed. Game 2, like, I don't think I'm ever doing the waste there. So game 1 was fetch, island, ponder, spell pierce. That's fine. I don't really care about getting spell pierced here. Wasteland Saga. I didn't have to Wasteland Saga. I could have gone for Riddler Consign on this turn. I think it would have ended pretty poorly though. So I'm pretty okay with like Waste Saga here. I don't really mind that play. And then I had this line here where I wasted again, which baited out the Wan Shi Tong, which ended up being pretty good for me here. And I think that's fine. Got both of my basics. I don't care about the Wan Shi Tong that much. Get a dog in play. The dog got forced. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have gone all in on going all in on the Riddler Consign on turn 2. There would have been pretty bad. Or turn 3. So then there's the Wan Shi Tong in play. I cast this. I find second swords and a delta. That seems fine. Play the delta. Yeah, I like that. And then I sword the Wan Shi Tong because I want to fetch with the delta. That makes sense. And then I play that. So I could have like swords the Bowmaster, but that's like the Bowmaster doesn't matter if I have a 4/6 Riddler, right? Like that's the whole idea. And then I got last 2 cards, force blue card. So from here, I have 3 mana. Losing this game from this spot is crazy to me. So we were at 11 with 3 power. They drew 1 card, and they can't play Lurrus. And they drew a second Bowmaster. From here, I could have chosen to not swords the Bowmaster, right? This was my diverging line. The diverging line here is draw 1 from Riddler, put my Riddler in play, and swords the Orc army on attack. And then maybe we block a Bowmaster if the Bowmaster came in. Like, that would work out pretty well for me. If I chose to just Riddler Consign, not cast swords, go to their turn, swords the Orc army, block a Bowmaster, like, that would have ended up pretty well. I also, on this turn, I was at 7, so I could have blocked Bowmaster on this turn and gone to 2. All right, the question, chat, is that right? Does that make sense? Would you do that? Would you draw 1 less card off of Riddler and let this thing become a 5/5 and then swords on attack when they attack all? Well, I think swordsing the army before and then drawing 2 and taking 2 and then they get a 4/4 and a ping me for 4 sounds really bad, yeah? I don't like that one. That one sounds like the worst by far. I really don't like that one. No, swords after it grows. Well, we don't get to draw 2, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, we can play Tundra and draw 1. Consign our thing. This thing becomes a 5/5. I'm holding open swords. They go to attacks. They attack all, presumably. And then I swords the 5/5 in attacks, and I kill a Bowmaster. I guess that's an option. I only draw 1 card. I would just draw into a Brainstorm that I can't really cast either. Can we swords before EOT on their? No, not really. Well, yeah, we can. But then they're not going to attack with the Bowmaster, right? Like that's not good. Like if I just like play my land, draw one card, this thing becomes a 5/5, I swords it on our turn, then they just have two Bowmasters and we have a Riddler. Like that's fine. Yeah, but then they're not attacking and we're not dealing with the board and we're not advancing the board and we end up in the same position where we can't draw cards, right? Like, don't we want to get to a position where we can draw cards? Because apparently all of our engines are draw cards, which I guess is a problem. Another problem with Ponder and Brainstorm. So like I think like the more risky line is to let them attack and then do it. Yeah, I mean, but they're drawing one card. Like if they rip Pierce off the top, they rip Pierce off the top. It can only ever be Pierce, right? That's the only card it can be. It can be Mental Misstep, and it can be maybe two Pierces left tops. So like 3 out of 45. I think that's probably worth it. Also, like I guess, yeah, this also limits the problem of like third Bowmaster off the top. I mean, it would end up in a spot where opponent has one Bowmaster, we have 5 life. It might, it seems like it ends up in a better spot for us. On this turn, I never had 5 mana to get Riddler in play. I drew Snapcaster. Like the Snapcaster is insane, and I got forced. So this Snapcaster was snapped, swords the 5/5, eat the Bowmaster. Like, I felt like this game was in a spot that like I was because like I was covering Spell Pierce, I was covering Misstep with Misstep. Like, I feel like I'm okay, generally speaking. Like playing this game out like from this point right here, I was so like I don't know, like I felt like I was in a great spot. They ripped a second Bowmaster for the turn, right? From this point, like I feel like I should always win this game. I mean, they can draw Ancestral, obviously, so maybe not always, but like a high majority of the time, I would win this game, right? Maybe not. Like, there's very few ways like they can like. Yeah, I never got 5 mana. They wastelanded me. Yeah, I mean, I could have. I definitely could have blocked the very, very, very first turn. I could have blocked Bowmaster, right? This one right here. I would have gone to 2, and yeah, I just would have gone to 2. Like the biggest problem with blocking Bowmaster here is my opponent Lurrus' Bowmaster back later, right? But maybe I was supposed to block Bowmaster on the first one here. Maybe 2 is an acceptable life total. Like also if I get wastelanded, like I can't really fetch in the rest of the game either by going to 2. I just kind of thought I would like draw my way out of this, and like I have a dog in my hand, so like it doesn't really make a lot of sense to block Bowmaster when my opponent has 1 card in hand and I have dog and I can just kill this orc army on the next attack. It feels like I was like right about to seize control every point, and then at every point I got thwarted. I think like you're not playing around second Bowmaster at this point here. Like if they have second Bowmaster here, you're just dead. You just you don't worry about it. I don't know. There were definitely options in this game, but I'm not sure that any of them were clearly better than the ones I chose. Like I felt like the ones I chose were pretty good choices. This is like the most interesting one here. This set here. This second Bowmaster ruined my life. Like this second Bowmaster is the entire problem. Off the top, the second Bowmaster. I mean, Bowmasters compound just like crawlers and that kind of thing. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure. Like even looking at this, I don't have a right answer for you. Like these are all kind of percentage plays. I'm just like really surprised. Like I think from this game, from this spot, I would think that I'm likely to win, but yeah, well, I lost. So try to figure out why that happened. This wasn't a bad showing by any means. Like, we went 3-3. I felt like the Jewel loss was just getting 1%ed, which is fine. I felt like the Sphere Shops win was like a very close, like very, very close game. And then the Raker Shops loss was like two mistakes that really cost us. But like, I think all of these matches, all five of these matches were winnable. As for the sixth match, maybe like a mulligan on the second half would have been acceptable, or maybe some different choices in the first. But like, we didn't really have a great chance of winning that game. I don't know if those games were very representative of like how that matchup should go. If those games are representative on how that matchup should go, then there needs to be redesign and like changes to how we put the deck list together, because we shouldn't really be building a deck like this and then losing to blue black. I think he attacked with the Bowmaster just to like make it a clock and make it like a big deal. But yeah, I don't know. I could have blocked the first turn on the Bowmaster on the first turn and would have put us to 2. Maybe that would have been right. Yeah. But one of the things that you have to emphasize when you play a deck like this is because you don't get free wins. I mean, you kind of get free wins in the fact that you have like Sony Silence and the people's decks just die to Sony Silence. But like, our deck is not really doing anything vintage power level. It's not doing a broken thing. And a lot of the times when you're not doing a broken thing, you have very little leeway in terms of mistakes. And these matchups really, really showed it. We've played Beans in it before. You just watched my fucking 2-color deck lose to Wasteland. You want to lose to Wasteland even harder for fun? You think Beans are better against Bowmaster? Like, I think Beans are kind of a meme, is how I would look at them. I don't think they're necessary for you to have a strong draw engine. Look, you saw us. We had draw engines in a lot of the games after we passed our spells. The whole point is that we cast our spells and then we rebuy with Riddler. Like, Riddler itself is the draw engine. So, yeah, I don't know. I think these ponders are kind of sus. I'm not sure 4 consign is actually correct, even if it went really well today because we played against 5 workshop decks. I don't know that like 4. So like, one of the problems is like, it's hard to play 4 dogs when we don't have 4 brainstorms to get rid of excess dogs as well. I really don't want to play my own Bowmasters. I think Bowmaster is like such a bad card. It would have been pretty good against all the Raker today though. Ephemerate was not good when we played it. That was like the first card we cut. I don't think Ephemerate is good. And also the reason we were playing Ephemerate is because we were playing like Spell Seekers and stuff like that. Which we were trying to cut all of those very clunky cards and play a very streamlined deck that did the thing in a good way. Consign is like a much better card than Ephemerate ever could be. So, in what world does Lurrus PO beat 2 waste, bro? I lose every game. I get wasted twice. I don't know what you're talking about, man. A Wasteland is like one of the single best cards in all of Vintage, and it completely warps the entire metagame. The Wasteland might be the most played card in all of Vintage, is it? And maybe it might be the most played card. At one point it was close. Like, Wasteland is a fucked up Magic card that probably shouldn't exist as a 4 of, but because Bazaar and Workshop exist as a 4 of, Wasteland exists as a 4 of is basically how it is. Anyways, we're not getting into that. I'll ban myself before we start talking about that. Yeah, sorry about the little freak out in round 5, but I know I really, really hate when I make very clear mistakes, and so got to move forward. Anyways, I think that Riddler is good. I don't know exactly how you're supposed to build Riddler, but I would hope that people would still try to make this deck work. My win rate with this card is quite high. I believe we went 4-2 or better in all of our Riddler challenges. I don't know if that's a true statement or not. It feels like it is. I know we have a challenge like win or top 2. We had a 4-2, and I think we had maybe another 4-2, and this was a 3-3. So like, it seems pretty reasonable, but who knows? Wasteland makes non-combo viable. Then why don't you play some Wasteland in your Raker deck? Anyways, more Vintage content Monday, Wednesday, Friday. No, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.